I never thought I'd say this out loud, but between you and me, I gotta really tell you, I don't miss where I used to live at all. I love where I've decided to retire to, and my life is so exciting and full. And I'm healthier, and I've lost 20, 30 pounds while I've been out here. So, no, I don't miss it. Would you like to know what the secret is to finding a place that's really going to fill your life and provide everything that you could want and more? Let's get started. I've got a whole list of things that I reflected on that actually made a big difference. First and foremost, I picked a place that was extremely vibrant. It was actually a place that I vacationed at or near all the time. I picked a location that I felt called to me. I had been vacationing there for several years and I knew my way around. I loved the vibe, I loved the atmosphere, and I loved all of the things that I could do for free in the area. And I thought this is a great place to retire to because I can do something every day of the week and have my calendar full of really great and fun and entertaining things to do. So that was really number one. The atmosphere was so vibrant and so accessible, and so many of the things are just free. There's a big community of retirees here. In fact, I would say close to 50% of the population is retirement age. So it really kind of caters to our demographic, and you're just with like-minded people. So that made it vibrant, interesting, and entertaining. The next thing that's important that I've reflected on is that the pace of life is just slower, more relaxed, less hurried, less rushed, less stressful. And there really isn't the kind of traffic and the kind of driving that you'd have to do in some of the bigger cities in the country. It is a smaller town vibe. And so while we do have what we consider traffic, by most standards, it's not trafficy. And people don't honk. It's kind of a known, it's kind of a cultural thing that you don't honk at people if, let's say, they don't notice that the light turned green. Just let them take their time. People just really are unhurried and unbothered. And that is really refreshing because it seems like in many parts of the country, everyone's in such a gosh darn rush to get nowhere, to sit at the next light anyway, that it's just a part and parcel of the fabric of life, which we don't have to deal with here. It's just really nice. And that just ripples through on so many levels, including your health, because being stressed out is not good for us. It's just a nice way to live. And I think it's an important factor in not missing the old lifestyle whatsoever. Another reason that it's exciting and kind of unexpected is that there's always something to notice in nature that is, just awesome, literally awesome. Like seeing a bald eagle. I had never seen a bald eagle in the wild, or maybe ever in my entire life, up close. And I saw one and I thought, wow, I can see why this is our national bird, because they're so majestic and they're huge and impressive and strong. And it was thrilling to get to see one, from a short distance away. And also we have other wildlife. We have pronghorn antelope that are in herds, and it's just a treat to see them. We have things that I haven't seen up close, which are bobcats and wild cats. Thankfully, I haven't seen those up close. We've got coyotes that usually howl at night, and sometimes they're really close to the residents. I mean, there are ravines and other things that they must be prowling through. And it just really reminds you that you're in the West and that this is still the Wild West. We are really out in nature. And there's also little birds that are very different types of birds. I'm not much of a bird watcher, but little birds that are just bright and tiny and beautiful. And they'll come and perch for a few seconds. And we have lots of hummingbirds. So many hummingbirds that people actually plant hummingbird bushes and plants to attract them. And they zoom, zoom, zoom around back and forth through the skies. And they're really, really adorable and really fun. So I enjoy all of that, all of the nature, and it's a treat that I really wasn't expecting. Speaking of nature, we also have a lot of national parks and regional parks and city parks with hiking trails and biking trails and just natural beauty all around. You know, I feel that a lot of times people gravitate towards the ocean more than the mountains, but the mountains are quite spectacular. And boy, do we have some spectacular sunsets where the entire sky is bright orange, especially when there's clouds, because the sunlight is reflecting back up into the clouds, this bright orange, and you have a bright orange or red sky over muted purple mountains. It really is Purple Mountain's majesty, and it's something to behold. It really is an awesome thing to see, and we get to see it every night. So that's really great. And speaking of the nights, we have incredible stargazing opportunities. A lot of the areas are called dark sky areas where there's a limited amount of light, ambient light allowed to radiate from homes and cities. And that allows us to really appreciate the stars and see things that we can't see in other parts of the country where there's a lot of city lights. So that's amazing too, and it's there every night. Another important thing to note is that the abundance of sunshine actually is having a health effect in the positive for me. I have more energy. I feel that I look younger. I move more. I'm out in the sun every day, walking or hiking. And that was not necessarily the case in my old place of residence because the weather was not as nice and we had a lot of humidity. And here, even on the hottest of days, you can take a walk in the morning or the evening and enjoy a pretty low humidity type of environment with a cool breeze. So it really is almost perfect weather. We do have kind of colder winters that last a bit, and we do have some very hot days in the summer, but that just depends on the airflow in the summers, and there's just ways around it by going out early or late. Most of the year, I can sit out on my patio and just enjoy reading or spending time with the dog or relaxing, having a cup of coffee, and just enjoy the breeze. It almost feels like an ocean breeze, and there's not ocean for 1,000 miles probably. So, I mean, it's just kind of cool that it feels like you're sitting at the beach when you're not anywhere near the beach. The weather is simply amazing. And I really think that helps to boost energy and health. And I've lost weight really without trying because I'm just moving more and I'm active and the weather cooperates. So it's a big plus. And last but not least, there's something really important that I want to share with you that I did before I left home that I think helped me to move with a real sense of closure and peace. And that is that I added a little bit of time after I finished packing and everything was ready. I added a few more weeks so that I could go to all of the places of my past, my grade school, my high school, the church I got married in, the swim club where I swam when I was 6 through middle school. And I went to various schools, so I went to all of them. I went to my children's schools and I went to churches. I did things. I went and saw a lot of people that were very dear to me and I spent quality time with them. I went to the beach one more time and just did everything I could think of. I visited every institution that I ever attended and anything that was important in my life. And I visited the people that were important in my life. And I spent a good month or so doing this. And when I left, I felt I had closure. I felt I'd left and said my goodbyes and said my thank yous and said a little prayer and just moved on. It just really is something that I'm so happy that I did because I don't long to go see anything. I saw it all. I really, really did. It's funny because I told the story I was at the jeweler getting some of my rings resized and some of my mom's jewelry sized so I could wear it. And I knew the jeweler my whole life. We got married at the same age. We had kids at the same age. And I was telling him how I was going to all these places, kind of door to door, and just saying my goodbyes. And he leaned in and he said to me, "It sounds like you're never coming back." And I said, "You know what, Bob? I really don't think I am coming back." And his eyes got wide as if like, what? How could you do that? But you know, what's really interesting is when you release the old so that you can embrace the new, you don't need to hang on to it anymore. The memories are all in our hearts and in our minds anyway. So there's no reason to long for something. Yes, of course, I would like to see people that I haven't seen in 7 years. But you know what? We've got phone, we've got Skype, we've got many ways that we can communicate. Yes, it's not the same as a face-to-face visit, but we talk often and we stay in touch. And for the most part, I'm a happy camper. I don't miss my old life. I don't miss my old lifestyle. I don't miss where I used to live. It really is a closed chapter. So that's what I can share with you as the ways that I intuitively went forward in closing the page on that part of my life. And I really am complete with it. I have nothing that's holding me back. And I couldn't be happier. And this phase is amazing. There might be another phase, I don't know. But for now, I'm happy. Honestly, I'm happy, happy, happy with every choice I've made towards this decision, the way I left, the way I packed, the way I said my goodbyes, and the way I embraced the new life. You know, it's really interesting. I never really understood it because I hadn't really moved in my adult life. I lived in the same house for 33 years. But home really is where you hang your hat. And it didn't take me long to figure out that this was home, and where you shop and where you do all of your daily comings and goings becomes home very quickly. And we're adaptable beings. We're able to adapt and really feel at home wherever we hang our hat or wherever we put our head on the pillow. So I wish that for all of you. I wish you a seamless journey and a happy new place to land if that's what you choose to do. Or if you choose to stay in the same place, to be thrilled with that as well. And maybe add some new dimensions by trying different things in the area that you hadn't done, or going on some trips to surrounding areas that you haven't done in a long time or never. And there's lots of sites everywhere. It's not exclusive to one area of the country or to one area of the world. So get out and live it up, because I believe that retirement really is the prime of our life. And I feel I have an obligation to myself to make the most of it. So get out and have some fun. Do something different, because if you ask me, retirement really is the prime of our life. It's when we have less obligation and more free time to enjoy, reinvent, and explore. And I wish you all of that and more. So thanks for joining. And please like or subscribe down below so you never miss an episode. Be sure to leave a comment down below if you have a way or technique that has helped you make change easily, and share it with the rest of us. We'd love to learn. Thanks again for joining. Until the next time.